Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Akman Akwalt out there, pursuing this truth diligently, coming at you once again with another lesson. This one is coming from Reddit, and it's from the Reddit called Black People Twitter, and the post is titled Actual Demon, right? Actual Demon. And you see right here, it says he killed 2 black women at his farm and fed their bodies to pigs and then cried like a victim in court. This is how manipulative Elon's people are. All right, of course, those people, and it happened in South Africa, right? And of course, you know, those South Africans, they're Edomites, all right? Most of those people over there are Edomites. Now, you got Jake over there in South Africa as well. But of course, you know, that it stemmed down, as, you know, you can see, you know, a large chunk of Jake is residing in, well, not residing, the ones that are in Africa reside in West Africa, right? Because that's one of the places that Jake went. The biggest chunk of Israelites is residing in the United States, all right? And then other than that, probably England, all right? But right here, you can see like the trail down, right? So this is all of Africa. You have Central Africa, all right, West Africa, and South Africa. Well, you know, everybody knows Ghana, all right, Ghana and Nigeria, probably the two biggest, most popular places in West Africa. If you trail down, you get just not too far from there, you get Nambia, Botswana, and all South Africa, all that area over there. So it's not too far of a stretch, all right? There's Jake scattered everywhere, right? And I'm not sure if the 2 women that were murdered in this case weren't necessarily Jake or Israelites. However, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they were Ham either, or any other nation either, because Esau just likes killing in general. Okay, but I would not be surprised either way. So this is the article, the actual article. It's from The Guardian, and it says South African farmer accused of killing 2 women and feeding them to pigs. And it talks about a farm owner and 2 employees allegedly shot dead Locadia Ndlovu and Maria Matgatho after they trespassed. So these are all the people involved. This seems to be the main guy. However, it seems like he's gotten in some type of crazy tan since then. I don't know if it was recommended by his lawyer or something, because if you look at the difference in color, all right, there's, you know, he's a completely different shade. And being that he's involved in the legal process right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they recommended that he get a tan or go sun tanning, or, you know, do a tanning booth or something like that to make himself look darker so it doesn't appear as bad as it actually looks. They do shit like that, right? So it says a South African farmer and 2 of his employees have been accused of killing 2 women and feeding their bodies to his pigs. Remember when I told you that pigs eat everything? Well, there you go. It says the killings of Maria and Locadia, also named in local media as Kudzai, allegedly took place when the 2 women trespassed on a farm in the northern province of Limpopo in August. They were scavenging for expired dairy products, but local media report that had been left there to feed the pigs. Okay, so again, that's why you should be circumspect. Let's go and get that. This is Ephesians 5 and 15. All right, and again, regardless if they're Jake or whoever they are, or even if they're Ham, these are instructional lessons for Israelites, all right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are the real Israelites, the ones, you know, that had their identity stolen by these so-called white people, all right? They're for us, all right? Nobody else, all right? Notably, they're for the elect, all right, of Israel, all right? Nobody else, specifically for the elect of Israel. And it's for edification of the elect. So if, regardless of who these people are, we're supposed to be walking circumspectly. So Ephesians 5 and 15 reads, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." All right, we're living in evil days. All right, we're at the end of the world, and you know the credits are about to roll. All right, and you know when you are at the end of a movie, you can feel it. You know, it's about to wrap up. Well, that's where we're at now. All right, the credits aren't rolling just yet, but they're going to be soon. And we're supposed to be walking circumspectly. Okay, we're in evil days, evil times. And if we're not walking circumspectly, what is circumspect? Being wary, unwilling to take risks. That's what it's going to say. Definition. Let's get the definition. All right. Wary and unwilling to take risks. There you go. Circumspect.
Circumspect.
Okay. Going on someone's property and scavenging that's something that a fool would do. All right. That's not wise. You know, people have guns. People might think you're there to rob them. They don't know what you're there for, right? And people generally do defend their property with lethal force. So going and doing something like that is not smart. It's not circumspect, all right? You're taking a risk going out there. Now, why were you going out there? Were you scavenging because you were cheap? Were you really hungry? Or you needed that milk? Like, really? Why were you scavenging for expired dairy products? For what? What were you doing? Was it really that bad? Were you suffering? All right? Maybe you could have asked somebody for something, all right? Maybe you would have asked him, and he's an Edomite, so he probably wouldn't have been gracious anyway. There's someone you could probably ask that would have give you something, right? It says the farm owner, Zachariah Johans Oliver, the supervisor, Adrian Rudolph DeWitt, and William Musora, an agricultural worker. All right, you see Adrian Rudolph DeWitt. All right, he's the other guy that he seems. I'm not sure what his nationality. He could be some type of Spaniard, but he doesn't seem. I would doubt if he was a Jake as well. All right, being that, you know, if you go to the map, let's see. I want to go and check something out because you got let's get a bigger one. Should be so you got right here Spain, right, which is over here in the UK. All right, it's right over here, right by Africa. So these guys probably immigrated over from areas like Spain or Italy, all right, or different areas, Romania, all that different type of places like there. Now some places in Italy. All right. Now the original, not the original, but the Sicilians, all right, are Israelites. All right, the original Sicilians, not all Sicilians, the original Sicilians. Okay, because they were Israelites. That's why they have that joke. What movie was that? What? It wasn't The Godfather. All right. Sicilians. Let's see. True Romance? No. Here, I'll go ahead and play it. What movie was this from? True Romance. All right, so here you go. Watch this, because they hint at it. All right, the original Sicilians were black. Okay.
Tell Luca to go outside and do you know what? Holy angels in heaven, you never seen evil so singularly personified as you did in the face of the man who killed you. My name is Vincent Kirkcaldy. I work as counsel for Mr. Blue Boyle, the man your son stole from. I hear you were once a cop, so I can assume you've heard of us before. Am I correct?
I've heard of Blue Boyle.
I'm glad. Hopefully, that will clear up the how full of shit on my question you've been asking yourself. We're gonna have a little Q&A, and at the risk of sounding redundant, please make your answers genuine. You want to Chesterfield?
No.
I have a son, my own, about your boy's age. I can imagine how painful this must be for you, but Clarence and that bitch whore girlfriend of his brought this all on themselves. I implore you not to go down that road with them. You can always take comfort in the fact you never had a choice.
Look, I'd like to help you if I could, but I haven't seen Clarence.
You see that? And smarts, doesn't it? You're slammed in the nose. Fucks you all up.
I seen him. You know, I don't believe you. You got a match?
But if you know them, like you know your own face, they'd be lie detectors all to hell. Now, what we got here...
Match? Oh, wait, no.
This is where it is.
Don't bother. You're Sicilian, huh?
Sicilian.
You know, I read a lot, especially about things, about history. I find that shit fascinating. Here's a fact, I don't know whether you know or not. Sicilians were spawned by niggers.
Come again?
No, it's a fact. Yeah. You see, Sicilians have black blood pumping through their hearts. And no, if you don't believe me, you can look it up. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, you see, the Moors conquered Sicily.
There you go.
And the Moors are niggers. See, way back then, Sicilians were like wops from northern Italy. They all had blonde hair and blue eyes. But, well, then the Moors moved in there and, well, they changed the whole country. They did so much fucking with Sicilian women, huh? That they changed the whole bloodline forever. That's why blonde hair and blue eyes became black hair and dark skin. You know, it's absolutely amazing to me to think that to this day, hundreds of years later, that Sicilians still carry that nigger gene. Now this, I'm quoting history. It's written. It's a fact. It's written.
I know this guy.
No. Your ancestors are niggers. Hey. Yeah. And your great grandmother fucked a nigger. Oh, yeah. And she had a half nigger kid. Now, if that's a fact, tell me, am I lying? 'Cause you're part eggplant. No! Hey.
You're a cantaloupe. It's beautiful.
Anyway, you can figure out what happens next. But yeah, wanted to impart that little scene for you there. All right, in case you haven't seen it. All right, and that was originally it was a Posticle Bar that originally put that scene out there. All right, talking about the history on it. But yeah, so a little bit of history there for you. It was the Moors, all right, that went over there in that part of Sicily. So you have some Italians that are not. Bear with me. What the hell's going on here? All right. So you have some Italians that, of course, didn't come through that, but the Sicilians, the original Sicilians, all right, were in fact, a product of so-called Negroes, right? So, and this guy, all right, wherever he's from, I wouldn't be surprised with this incident if he was just an Edomite. Like I said, I don't know where he's from. Doesn't say where he's from. So, if I had to guess, he looks more Spanish. So I'd guess from somewhere in Spain. It says, where were we here? It says the farm owner Zachariah Johannes Oliver, the supervisor Adrian Rudolph DeWitt, and William Amorsa, an agriculture worker, faced 2 charges of premeditated murder, 1 of attempted murder, and 1 of possession of an unlicensed firearm. Masuro, who is from Zimbabwe, has also been charged with being in Africa illegally. So this guy wasn't even supposed to be there. Now it says the 2 women were allegedly shot in Oliver's farm. I want to know who shot him. The third man, whose local media reported was Nudovo's husband, was injured and crawled to a road where he screamed for help. Some days later, police discovered the women's decomposing bodies in a pig tree on the farm. It says the 3 accused men appeared in court on Tuesday to apply for bail. The hearing was postponed until October. The case has caused outrage in a country with high rates of violent crime where mistreatment and underpayment of farm workers is rife. Farmers have been murdered, and the majority black population is still mostly excluded from land ownership as they were under apartheid. So again, the Edomites, conquered that land, and they still have it over there where, black people can't, own certain shit. All right. So some of those people might be Ham. Some of those people might be Jake. All right. It says members of the political parties protested outside of the court, demanding the harshest possible sentences for the men, for them to be denied bail. It said it would have anti-racism dialogues with the affected communities, calling on people not to take the law into their own hands. So yeah, unfortunately, it seems like we didn't get too much about it, but I guess this is the main guy that did it. All right, this is where it says he did it. So he's the one. The farmer himself is accused of killing them. I don't know why it says farm owner and 2 employees allegedly shot dead. I don't know if they were all opening fire on them. They said there was 1 unregistered weapon. I don't know. There's things that are being not so transparent about. But you have this going into the Bible argument down here that we're not going to even touch on. Is Elon's people? Is he a South African? It says yes. So you see. They were hungry and looking for food. He murdered them and did exactly what the tweet said. The trial is set for August. So he got caught and cried because of consequences. Ripped to the victims. Here we go. Here's another video right here. These Edomites, right? Let's full screen that. These Edomites are always only upset when they get caught or the repercussions of their actions come down on them. Right? They're never sad about what they did, right? They're never sad about what they did. So let's get Proverbs 4:16. All right, it reads, so it's verse 16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." And this is in all walks and forms of life, right? If they're not killing someone, they're harming someone. They're wage issues. They're causing someone harm in some other way, whether it's transport or, they're charging them too much money for rent, or they're charging too much money on a payment, or they're not paying them enough, or they're making food more expensive, or they're killing some. These Edomites, it's in them. They have to constantly make other people unhappy to make them happy, right? That's the only way that they can really feel good about themselves, all right? That they can really feel like they're powerful. All right, that's what their power comes from. You always, we're powerful. We're powerful. Well, what does your power come from? Okay, your power comes from slaughter and death and torturing people and putting people low and putting yourself higher and charging absorbent amounts of money. That's where you get your power from. That's not really real power. That's like extortion, really, right? That's slavery. You get your power from that. You don't really get your power from being a strong people. All right, if you took away all your money, you wouldn't be a strong people. You see, Jake is naturally strong. They have, they even demonize that. Oh, they look like an ape. They're big. They're strong. They're hitting like a wild animal. All right, look at him. He hit my brother Hunter, and look what he did to him. His face is smashed in like he was an ape or a gorilla or something. Yeah, and you're trying to demonize that, but you're saying that he has gorilla strength. That's actually really a compliment. All right, so Jake, you shouldn't really get mad when they say, they got strength like all these gorillas. They're strength like gorillas. Yeah, you know how strong a silverback gorilla is? They're crazy strong, man. That's a compliment. Strength like a gorilla. All right, man, you got strength like a gorilla. That would actually be a compliment. Okay, think about it. The only reason you really think it's not a compliment is because the similarity in features to apes, right? They have dark skin. You got dark skin. You get offended about it, right? Because they're animals and you're not, right? Well, think about it. If they said, "Oh, you got strength like a lion," oh yeah, well, that's very strong. Well, you know what? An ape and a lion, I don't know who would win in that fight. As a matter of fact, probably the ape. Maybe. Let me see. Who would win? Who would win? An ape or lion? Probably a pretty good fight, but probably the ape just because it's got, you know, more mobility with the arms, right? You could fight it off. Says lions are stronger, faster, and probably more durable. They'll have no trouble taking down a gorilla. The lion wouldn't really. Oh, interesting. I figured it. Well, not really. I could go either way, but that'd be a crazy fight, man. Because you got the mobility of, you know, the apes. You got the mobility with the, you know, the opposable thumbs. You got the fierce. But yeah, with the lion, their big thing is they're fast, and they got the claws. All right, you see their teeth ain't too much different in size. They're pretty big. I don't know who has got the bigger bite strength, but yeah, man. That'd be a brutal fight, man. That'd be a really brutal fight. I don't know. I guess it could probably go either way, but they say the lion would win. See, this one says the gorilla. We're in the odds of the gorilla's favor. So there's some people saying a gorilla would win. There's some people saying odds are in a gorilla's favor. A lion would win, no problem. It would probably be a pretty hard fight. All right, that's one depression I'm at. It would probably be a pretty hard fight. So if someone was like, oh, a lion, you have the strength of a lion, you wouldn't get upset. But if someone said, oh, you have monkey strength, ape strength, all right, you get mad because, you know, of the connotation with it. Well, just know that they're comparing you to a very, very strong animal. A very strong animal, okay? If I had to compare them to an animal, they'd be something like a weasel, right? Or a chipmunk or a squirrel or something of the like, right? That's what I would consider them to be, just hoarding, stealing stuff, right? Or you know, working their way into places that they don't need to be. So yeah, man. But you know, the difference is those animals have more of a purpose than Esau. Esau has his purpose now because he's being used. All Esau is, and this is what you need to realize, Esau has a purpose. He's a belt. That's all it is. Esau's the belt. That's it. You still have to have someone that controls the belt. Okay, you wouldn't say, oh, that belt really did me one strong. No, my dad whooped my ass with the belt, and boy, did it get me. All right, because the belt, all right, behind the hands of someone that's whooping you that's where the power is, really. All right, you could, you know, barely touch a belt to you, and it wouldn't do anything. But when you start putting power behind that belt, that's when you really feel it. All right, so that's all Esau is the belt. All right, they can't do any damage on their own. All right, a belt is relatively not dangerous. All right, but when you have somebody wielding that belt, okay, like a sword by itself is not dangerous. The sword is not dangerous. It's the wielder. Okay, I could have a sword laying on the ground, and the only danger, you know, you could trip over it and cut your toe or fall on it in some type of way. But if it was flat, you probably only cut your hand pretty bad, but it wouldn't kill you, right? But when someone picks up that sword and starts swinging at you, that's when death can come. Okay, it's not the sword. It's the person behind it. It's not the belt. It's the person behind it, all right? And the person behind that belt, Esau, is the Lord, because he's using Esau as the belt, all right, to cause all these things, all right? Let's go and get that. Even the wicked, this is right here, Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, okay? So he even created the wicked, okay? And the wicked is Esau, Edom, the wicked. So, you know, oh, the belt did it. Well, the belt hit you, but who really did it? Who caused that belt to hit you? All right, that's the thing you got to realize. And these devils, man, they can't sleep unless they're doing something that is, you know, fun for them as far as, you know, killing. And they hate Jake. They hate Jake exponentially. All right, we can go to Genesis 27 and 41, and regardless if they're Jake or not, hey, if they're either way, it was judgment on their part. We just did a judgment report. All right, you know what it's about. Either way, look, these devils love killing everyone, especially Jake. Especially Jake. So that's what you need. This is a lesson for you, regardless if they were Jake or not. All right. I like I said, I don't know. Who knows? 50-50. Could be. I don't know. I wasn't there. I couldn't talk to them. I couldn't weigh their spirit. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Regardless, Jake is hated by Esau, all right? And they hate anybody that's not them. They basically hate their people as well, but really, you know, Esau's got a negative affinity for skin color. They got this hatred of skin color. Oh, that's brown. You want to know why they hate brown so much? Is because it reminds them of us, all right? Because that's what we look like. That's what their brother looks like, their little brother. That's us, okay? Genesis 27 and 41, we might be the little brother, but we have bigger aspirations and bigger goals, all right, and bigger callings than Esau. So Genesis 27 and 41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning are for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So he wanted to mourn his father, and then after that he said, I'm going to kill my brother, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to go and kill him. Because you got to realize that the blessing that Isaac gave him was, it was a blessing of the sword, all right? So, in verse 39, it says, and Isaac, his father, answered, because he started crying, all right? And Esau left up his voice and wept, as they always do. That's all they do. They just stay fucking crying all the fucking time, all right? Crying about this, crying about that, crying about this. Everything's fine. Something happens, they start crying, all right? They fall down on the field, they start crying. They got in a fight, they start crying, all right? Everybody remembers going to school, the Edomites. They start crying over nothing. You're standing there with a fucking dumbass look on your face, like, what the fuck? What's he even crying about? You're standing there looking stupid because, you're perplexed. Looking there like, what the fuck? What's going on? You look like that, you're over here looking like that, white girl, little girl, strange face meme. You're over there looking like this. You're playing, all right, with each other, and he tries to tackle you, and you miss. You tackle him, like, and you start looking like this. Because then the teachers are running over to punish you, and you're like, this is what you look like. You're like, what? That's how you look. And I'm like, why is this motherfucker crying all the time? They'll cry about crying. It's like, goddamn, man, right? And Esau cried because he didn't get his blessings as firstborn, but the retard didn't even realize that he sold his birthright. What is your birthright? What is a birthright? A right. What is a birthright? Let's go and get etymology online. All right, sold his birthright. All right, right here, Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be, here's a great one. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person. Profane is ungodly, wicked, all right? Lest there be any fornicator, and fornicator is, doing disgusting things sexually, right? Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. He sold his birthright. What is a birthright? Birthright. Birthright, all right? A right or privilege to which a person is entitled by birth. Okay? There you go. You see Esau. Oh, Esau comes up. All right, the elder twin who sold his birthright to his brother Jacob for a mess of pottage. Okay, so what is a birthright? What is a birthright? All right, biblically, a birthright entitled you to everything. He sold his birthright. He sold his birthright for a pottage, for some potted meat. All right, a morsel of meat. All right, as it says here. So when he sold his birthright. Okay, he doesn't realize that this Jacob, he went and with the woman, they put his garment on and they tried to trick his father because, well, guess what? All right, that was all meant to happen. The Lord had that happen. All right, and the Lord controls everything. All right, the Lord controls everything. Let's go and get that. All right, okay, this is Matthew 10 and 31. 30, actually. 29. All right, 28's great as well, but 29 for the point. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. Nothing shall happen to these. All right, none of these shall die, all right, unless the Lord makes it happen. Okay? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. All right, our hairs are numbered. We don't know how many are on them, but the Lord knows. Says, fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. All right, so everything, the Lord controls everything. Okay, so that would not have happened if the Lord did not want it to happen, but you herd-ass Edomites are always upset about it because you say, well, Jacob was a thief. Well, guess what? That was all put into place because you sold your birthright. You sold your birthright. Your birthright entitled you to the blessing that your father was going to give you. You sold that birthright. You don't have it no more. All right, you sold it. It wasn't stolen. You sold it to Jacob. So you sold your birthright. Who has your birthright? Jacob. We have it. All right, why? Because you sold it. All right, for some meat that wasn't even cooked yet. You sold it. That same birthright that entitled you to a blessing, you sold to us. We have that blessing. We got the blessing because we had the birthright. The birthright, whose birthright? Your birthright that you sold to us. And now, because you sold it, it's now ours. It's ours. No, 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 no. If I have a Toyota Camry and it was mine and I sell it to some guy named Jim, that's not my Toyota Camry no more. That's Jim's. I can't go, hey, I want my Camry back. It's not mine anymore. It's Jim's. I sold it. It's his. He got it rightfully. All right? He bought it. All right? There was a deal made, a trade made that was put in place. It's not mine. It's his. It's not yours, Esau. It's ours. You sold it, okay? You sold it. You took something that was so precious and you sold it. And that was on you because it was never designed for you to have it anyway, because you can't appreciate something like a blessing. You can't have something that's that important. You sold it for some fucking food that wasn't even cooked yet, Esau, all right? And Jake got it. Womp, 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 womp. Somebody play a small violin, right? So, yeah, and then you're, I'm gonna kill my brother. You got all upset about it. Why? That's like, you know, so here it is. You had a Toyota Camry. You sold it. You didn't want it. Oh, I don't give a shit. Here, just, what do you got there? Oh, what is that? $100? All right, cool. Yeah, take the $100, whatever. Wait, you're doing great things with that. I want it back. I'll give you money for it, please. No, too late. Already got it. I got it rightfully. I'm gonna kill you if you don't give it. Well, hey man, I bought it. Why are you freaking out? Why are you crying over here, snot dripping down your nose? What the hell's wrong with you, man? That's Esau, man. It's just fucking weak, degenerate, just human being that's fucking pathetic. All right, they're pathetic. Let's look up the word pathetic. Pathetic.
Pathetic.
Arousing pity, especially through vulnerability or sadness. It's not even pity. It's misery. Here it is. 2, miserably inadequate, a very low standard. Sorry, a sorry ass mother, poor ass, pitiful, lament, deplorable. Ugh, goddamn, you know, wipe your goddamn nose. You got boogers running down your chin. What are you doing? That's Esau for you. You know, ugh, get away from me, man. You're embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself, man. We don't get any give them any pity. All right, it's not pitiful. Pity, deserving, or a pity. What is pity? All right, feeling of sorrow towards them. We don't have any pity. Get away, man. You fucking get away from me. All right, you're embarrassing, right? So yeah, man, you want to? How long I've been going? 32 minutes. But yeah, man, let's get Obadiah 1 and 10. Already popped up. So Obadiah 1 and 10 says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." And there's another thing, man. My days of mourning for my father hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. You just went around slaying. The KKK and slayed. You infiltrated the Black Panthers and slayed. You joined the cops and you slayed. You do these type of things and you slay. You just love killing Jake. You love killing, and you especially love killing Jake. All right, that's what you love doing. I'm gonna kill him. Guess what? Because of that, all right, you're gonna be cut off. Okay, you're going to be cut off. In verse 18, right down here, the day of the Lord in the future, coming in the future. What do we have here? Let's see, right here in 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon, you know what, before I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna jump real quick, I'm gonna jump over to Ezekiel. Um, 35, here we are, and then I'm gonna jump back, right? So this is Ezekiel 35 and 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Look at perpetual. It means never changing. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, there's your blessing, in the time of their calamity, and our trouble that we're in, and the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since sith, which means since, sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir. Mount Seir is where the Edomites dwell. All right, we're dwelling. All right, and you know, America is just modern day Mount Seir now. All right, modern day Mount Seir, modern day Babylon, New Babylon, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. Right, and it's Rome. All right, the reincarnation of Rome. All right. So it says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off, and all those places had, you know, it was just, you know, Edomites and Idumean philosophy lodged within them. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations. There's that perpetual right back on you. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Boom. All right, there you go. So going back to Obadiah 1, and you know the title, going back into 15, the day of the Lord and the future, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Is anyone who's not Israel is a heathen. All right, and Esau is the lowest of the heathen. I shall make thee low among the heathen. All right, you can go right here, Obadiah. Right, and you can see this is talking to Esau right here, Obadiah 1:1. The visions of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. This is concerning Edom. Concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small against the heathen, among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And you can go on to see, they're a proud person as well. Says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Look up Mount Seir, all right? Look up, and, you know, all these different things, you know, they dwell in the clefts of the rock. You can go and look at Mount Seir, because they were dwelling in this land, and you can go and look here. What does that architecture look like? That looks like Roman architecture. Interesting. Roman architecture. That kind of looks like Greek architecture. Interesting. Greek architecture. That's interesting. Now let's go look at the White House. Interesting. It's almost like we can fucking trace these people throughout the ages, right? Boom, 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 boom. We know who you are. We know who you are, devils, all right? And you like that style, like you're dwelling in the clefts of the rock. You like living in that marble, all right? You like living in it because it reminds you of the cold, clammy, dark cellars that you used to live in, right? And, you know, the architecture, it's pretty decent, all right? But that's all we can give you. That's it. The architecture's pretty decent. It doesn't fall down. So, congratulations. You made something that can stand up, okay? So there you go. But other than that, it's just a little loud. It's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. Even the Egyptians, the Egyptians' architecture back in the day was pretty impressive. And honestly, the Egyptians were Hamites. So honestly, you probably got a lot of your building style. You know how you like to steal things? You probably got a lot of your building style from the Egyptian. All right, you see it's different. You can see that it's different, but you can see flavoring in it. You can see, okay, the stone pillars, and you can kind of see this. They kind of just made them smaller. All right, now Egyptian architecture is pretty cool, man. If you ever played Assassin's Creed Origins, I believe it's Origins, that you can see a lot of the stuff in it. That's pretty impressive. That looks cool, right? And it's not the way Esau does it, but you can see that there's definitely some influence in Esau's architecture, and you can see the what are these, obelisks? Or is that what they're called? And obelisk, all right, you can see that you know, and that's all that thing in what do they call that? The what do you call it? Washington Monument. All right, there you go. Washington Monument. It's just an obelisk. All right, that's all it is. Obelisk. That's all it is. All right. So they just take things from here and take things from there and do that and that. So, you know, you guys were living in caves, not carved out. You probably learned from, you know, something out somewhere. You took ideas or building style from someone and then refined it into this type shit right here. Right? This type shit right here. So, continuing on. For 15 again, it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, and thou, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. There you go. And you reward her even as she rewarded you. This is a future prophecy right here, Revelation 18:6. All right, talking about what Babylon's going to get back. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. and the cup which she hath filled to her double. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So continuing on, it says, for verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion, that's Israel, shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob, this is, dealing with the future, dealing with the kingdom, all right? And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And that's dealing with, after captivity, all right, shall take them captives. Here, this one comes up. Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall rule, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Going back to verse 1, I should have read that. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and will set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Strangers are talking about a sojourner, all right, a foreigner dwelling, that is in the land of Israel. All right, so those foreigners, heathens, all right, are going to be taken, all right, and they're going to possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, all right, slaves, all right, and they're going to do what? And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So guess what? You want to do this type of, you want to do that type of wickedness, Jake? You want to do that type of if I could speak, all right, Satan got the tongue. You want to do that type of wickedness to Esau? Well, guess what? You're going to get it right on back, all right? But guess what? It's not going to be in wickedness. It's going to be in righteousness, okay? So that's the lesson. I don't have a title for it. We're going to have to figure it out. But that's the lesson, man, all right? You keep on doing what you do. We know you're going to keep on killing. You're only going to kill the wicked Jake anyway. You're not going to lay a finger on the elect, right? So, hey, you do you. Keep on doing what you do, all right? And then guess what? After the 1,000 years, as it mentions, and 18, you're going to be gathered, because the captivity mentioned, all right, Isaiah 14:1-2. That's going to be a period of 1,000 years, and then the other heathens are going to taste of it as well. But after 1,000 years, the other heathens are going to go back to their dwelling place. Esau is not. They're going to be what? They're going to be what? They're going to be gathered, all right, and devoured and burned up, all right, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So that's what you got to look forward to, So live it up while you got it, because your time is coming to a close. We're going to close out there. Lord willing, lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Akakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Hey, Esau, Lord's coming for that ass, and there's nothing you can do about it. Till next one, Lord willing, shalom.